Doing the things you don't want to do is what's going to get you results. Doing the things that don't make you feel great at first is what's going to get you results. I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm my community, I'm my people. I very rarely do the things I feel like doing. In fact, it feels great to be in bed when the alarm goes off, cozying up with your partner, with a bank account full of money, having epic cash flow, doing whatever you want. Literally, it feels great. But you have to get back on track. You have to get back on track. You have to get back on track with the discipline. You have to get back on track with the self-inflicted pain. You see it on YouTube, you see it on my Instagram, and you might think my life looks rosy, but most of the things I do in my life I don't feel like doing. I don't feel like eating healthy a lot of the time. I don't feel like going to bed early a lot of the time. I don't feel like waking up early a lot of the time. I don't feel like recording this video a lot of the time, and I do it anyway. Because I've understood how success works. I've studied successful people. I've studied the people who rank the highest in life. I've studied the people who are at the highest level. And you know what? What I've learned? That they do everything when they don't feel like it. That they don't do what they feel like. When someone says, I do this when I feel like it, well, I do this because I have to. And what I have to do leads me to a very precise goal. Because I'm very strict mentally with my goals, and if I want that, I make a plan and I get that and I break my mind. But I get that and I try 1,000 times. But I get that and I get to the point that I want. But I get it because that's my job as a human being. That's my job, and I know that you may be going through a phase where you have doubts, uncertainty in your life, and you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, stay strict, because people end up failing. The competition ends up failing and you're going to become unique. You're going to become unmatched. You're going to become the person, the number one. You're going to become the most. You're going to become number one in that, and you're going to be able to look with pride at all the work you've done. You're going to be able to turn your head and look with pride at all the mornings that you woke up sleepy. You're going to look with pride at all the adversities that you had to swallow alone. You're going to look with pride at all the debts that you paid. You're going to look with pride at all the criticism that was made of you. You're going to look with pride at all the laughter that was made of you. You're going to look with pride at every tear that you shed that night when you thought the result wasn't going to come. You're going to look with pride at all that. That's why today's pain is worth tomorrow. Today's pain tells stories tomorrow. You have to know that what you're doing today is creating a story, that in the middle of the story the protagonist is suffering, and if you see it and if you don't know how to see it with perspective, you're going to screw up your life because you think that suffering is forever. But then that bends in your favor and becomes pleasure. It becomes the price paid. It becomes everything good. That's why I tell you, you have to suffer now to look at it with a perspective of the story you're building. That's the most beautiful thing of all, isn't it? It's buying yourself a car. You buy a new car today, you drive it for 30 minutes, and after 35 minutes that car is already something normal in your life. After 3 days you get in it and it's normal. You don't look at it the same way anymore. Why? Because it's something material. What drives you is the process of that. What you're going to feel proud of is the process of that. If you don't have it, you have to pursue wanting it. But when you have it, it's going to make you feel great when you look back and see the path. Every stone you jumped, every pothole you had, every blow you received, every morning without motivation, every morning without desire, every morning thinking that you're not going to have results. So many doubts about yourself, because you're going to doubt yourself, because you're going to think that no, you weren't created for this, because you're going to think that no, you weren't, you're going to think that you're not worthy of anything, you're going to think that you weren't born for this, but you know what? Yes, you can do it as long as you put in your mind that pain of not achieving it, you'll end up having it. That's why I tell people not to give up. I tell people that they pay the price. I tell people that the most important skill is not to give up. That the most important skill is to pay the price all the time. That the most important skill is to have between your eyes what it is that you want, and put your energy into it and give it your all, bro. No matter how bad things are going for you, no matter how bad things are going for you, no matter how sad your life is today, even if the roof is falling in, even if you're being eaten up by debt, right? Even if they're calling you debtors, you can get out of there, bro. But do you want to get out of there? But make a plan to get out of there. But let this video be a turning point to get out of there. Let this video be a bang on the table to get out of there. I know you don't like working. I know that being a waiter is not what you like the most. I know that being an employee is not what you love the most. Bro, do something. Move, but you can get out of there if you want. You can create the life you dream of. You can create the life you've always wanted, but you have to want it really bad. Wanting it very much, because how many people are recording content at 7 in the morning right now? Very few in the world. And now, who does it every day? Very few in the world. And who does it with high quality? Very few in the world. Well, that's who I want to be. That's who I want to be, the son of a who wakes up every day, even if he doesn't feel like it. I would go to work when I didn't feel like it, in the heat, long pants. I would go to work on my motorbike, on my moped. You know the story, when I didn't feel like it. I would go to work because I didn't feel like it, but I would go to work. I would do things because I didn't feel like it, but I would do things. And that internal strength of self-inflicted discipline every day has caused a mental callus that I am capable of doing anything at any time and recording anything at any time. And I thank God, the universe and the greatest for that, you know? That's the most important thing to me. That's the most important thing. When you're able to inflict all this pain on yourself, when you're able to do things when you don't feel like it, when you're able to row against the current and seem like you're going with the flow and everyone sees you and says, look how well he's doing, he's going with the flow. But the reality is that underwater the whole current is going in the opposite direction and you're the son of a who's rowing against the current. But you row so hard that it seems like you're rowing with the flow. People are surprised. You're surprised by yourself. That's why you have to never give up. That's why you have to learn that all your effort is multiplied, that all your rewards are then multiplied, then it's going to be returned to you 1,000-fold, then it's going to be returned to you 1,000,000-fold. I've gotten results 10 times what I dreamed of. That means God is good. That means that God is watching you and wants to see how you are going to pay the price. He wants to see how you are the chosen person. But, for that you have to have guts. For that you have to be the person who never breaks, the person who is willing, the person who always shows up, the person who in a bad moment sticks their head out of the water, the person who in a bad moment raises their hand and still wants to be the candidate, the person who when times are tough decides to put themselves in the trenches first, the person who when there are shots fired goes out to cover the others. You have to be that person. You have to be the man or woman who truly puts the benefit of the world before their own benefit. You have to be the person who has a purpose, who has a duty above their own pleasure, who does not ignore what they feel in their moments of weakness, who ignores what they feel in their moments of adversity, who ignores what they feel in the moments when doubts come, because doubt comes to everyone. But what is your internal speech like? How do you talk to yourself? How do you play with your mind when the devil comes? How do you play with your mind when the devil knocks at the door? When the devil comes and tells you, okay, you're not good enough for this. Okay, you're not going to achieve anything. Quote, okay, Mario, well, there are people better than you, so, you're just one of them. What do you do when he comes and tells you that? How do you behave? How do you subdue him with your speech? What do you tell yourself when you're getting into bed? What do you tell yourself when you're waking up? I know that I'm the son of a who can force himself the most, who has the sharpest, most focused, most directed focus that exists. You can't see that in all places, but you can make that happen in all people because it's a decision, it's mental strength and it's an acquisition. It's an acquisition of thinking like a successful person. All the successful people in the world think in a certain way. They think in a certain way with a certain strategy. They think with a very difficult mental speech. To Henry Ford, brother, listen to his story. They wanted to put him in an asylum, in a psychiatrist. He was crazy because they thought he was sick. But it's not that he was sick, it's that he only saw the result, he only saw achieving it, he didn't see any other option other than achieving it. Even his employees called him crazy. But he knew he could do it. That's why he was so stubborn with the B8 engine. That's why he got into it and didn't stop until he achieved it. And with all the inventions. You know that I don't know if it was Thomas Edison or Henry Ford. I think it was Edison. He is the person who has made the most inventions in history, who has the most patents. But why? Because he was obsessed with it, because he only saw creating. And I'm sure that in all those creations that he made, he didn't feel like it one bit. Many times, I'm sure that many times he didn't feel like doing that. I'm sure that many times he didn't want to start creating. I doubt that every day would be a bed of roses. I doubt that every day would be a bed of roses. I doubt that every day would be peaceful. I doubt that every day would be the best. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm sure he would wake up in the morning and he would have his fights with the person he lives with, and he would have his doubts about what he is creating today, and he would have his debts, and he would also have his doubts about what he has been working on for years and now it has not worked out. I'm also sure that his mind would tell him, go away. It would tell him, give up. It would tell him, leave, throw in the towel, it's not worth it. You've tried so many times. I'm sure his mind told him that too. Now, what do you do when your mind talks to you? What do you do when your mind tells you? What do you do when your mind comes and knocks on your door? That's the difference. That's what makes the difference. That's what I want you to believe. That ability to never give up. That ability to have enormous persistence and be stubborn, even though everyone right now thinks you're the most annoying guy. My friends told me I was annoying, that I wasn't going to achieve anything, that I should quit already, that I should find another way. And I kept going and going. And going and going, and I didn't listen, and I kept going and trying, and that led me to the life I have today. 2 years ago I was cleaning bathrooms. 2 years ago I received a paycheck of 800 euros in my bank account. Today I received that on a bad day. A bad day is $000. A bad day is more than my salary, you know? And you can create that. What you're hearing should hurt you. It should hurt you like there was a waiter who earned 800 euros a month after being able to build this life. Or it should hurt you like an entrepreneur who didn't make more than a certain amount of money. Now, that's what the first days of the month do. That's what should hurt you. For what? To get you moving. And if you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur, you need to work more. But you're not really working, you're not trying. You need to step on the gas more. And if you're watching this and you're an employee, let me tell you, you haven't done anything, bro. You need to get moving a lot more. You're an employee because you want to be. You don't get moving at all. You're an employee because you want to be, you know? Get moving more, have more ideas, invent something new. Find a way to get more results, find a way to reach more people, find a way. Look under rocks for something, but get moving, do something. I never sat idly by. When I was idly by, it was because I was thinking about my next move, but never, bro. I was always moving pieces in chess. I'm always moving pieces in the chess game of life. I was always moving forward. Even when the pieces were thrown at me, I kept moving forward. I would try one thing and it wouldn't work for me, so I would change it. I would try something else and it wouldn't work for me, so I would change it. But I always kept moving because I understood that God wanted for me what I wanted for myself. And if I want abundance and success for myself, He's going to bring it to me. I don't doubt it. The only way to win that you need to know is your inner rage. A person's will is what creates the world for a person. A person's will is what makes everything work for a person. What makes everything work for a person is that inner hunger and that pain that they feel every morning when they open their eyes and see that their life is the same, and they see that their wife has to go to work, and they see that their mother has to go to work, and they see that they can't pay the bills no matter how hard they work, and they see that they can't buy a Christmas present. You don't think it's necessary to work harder than anyone else in this world so that on December 25th, when Christmas comes around and you don't give a damn, but everyone expects their gifts, you'll be the person who gives the best gifts. Imagine that scenario. Your son gets what he wants and what he desires. Your wife gets what she wants, not what she tells you she wants, because she doesn't want you to spend money, because she knows you can't afford it, because she knows you don't have it. Imagine giving her the gift that you want and that you know she wants. It must make your blood boil knowing that there's a woman there by your side, or a mother, or a son who wants something, but is never going to tell you because she doesn't want to hurt your finances, doesn't want to hurt your lack of money, doesn't want to hurt your poverty, and is simply content with what you give her, with what you can. This is not a generous message. This is not a message of perspective. This is not a message for you to buy it for me. Yes, but that's not what's important, the gifts. If that's what's important, they're their wishes and you have to fulfill them. It's your job to fulfill them. You're going to tell me the story that you wouldn't want to give them the best gift in the world. You're going to tell me the story that you wouldn't want to give them something that would truly make them proud of their son, their husband, their father, if you want, but you're paying the wrong price. You're paying the wrong price. You're paying the price of embarrassment one more year. You're paying the price of having your face fall with shame. The bill will arrive that day, that night. The bill will arrive and you're going to remember me. You better feel the internal pain between now and December and change your life, because you have 60 days and you can do it, son of a. And you can do it. It's in your hands. Not in my hands and not in your cousins or your partners, it's in yours. But today is when you have to wake up and say, there are 60 days left, I'm on time. I'm going to give my family the best Christmas. I'm going to fulfill my deepest desires by giving them the gift they've always wanted. I'm going to kill myself these 60 days to be able to do it. Feel that pain, live it and experience it. And now get to work with it. I trust you. I trust you. But you have to not only trust yourself, but also not break your word. Imagine that you made a promise now in this video, in the comments. If you've reached this point, you can do it. I'm going to read it to you. Imagine making a promise to yourself. You've reached this point, make a promise. Imagine that you have to keep it no matter what. What would you wear? What would you like to give them for Christmas? Something that you have to keep no matter what. Imagine that it's a loan that you make with life. Life gives you that gift. Life gives you that. Instead, you have to pay the price. What would happen to your life if it looked like this? It would be incredible, right? It's the moment when you have to move heaven and earth to give him the best. It's the moment when you have to become richer than you are. It's the moment when you have to earn 10 times more than you earn. It's the moment to not settle for your victories and decide to conquer the ones you don't have yet. It's not called being selfish, it's called being ambitious. It's called showing God the beauty of His creation with pure action, with results. You think that God doesn't want to see you happy, and your loved ones happy. Do you think that God doesn't want to see how they give you the gifts that you want, not the ones they tell you because they don't know, because they know that you can't make it? You think that God doesn't want to have you as His best son. You think that God doesn't want to see you succeed. You think that God doesn't want to give you all the money that you've always wanted. If He gave you the opportunity to want it, why would He give it to you? Why? What? Why would He then punish you by not giving it to you? If He gave you the opportunity to desire something, it's because He also gave you the opportunity to have whatever you want. But every desire has a price, and today you're not paying it. Today you're settling. Today you're at peace. You can't be at peace in this world, brother. You have to wake up and attack. End of the movie. If you want to have results, you need to hit the table and say, I'm going to have results. And say, I'm going to get that. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm not going to stop trying different things until that becomes a reality in my life. No matter how much it hurts and burns you, no matter how much it's mental stress, no matter how much it's a headache, but you need and you must experience that. You must know what Pain means you need to know what the price is and want to pay it, be willing to pay it. If you're willing to pay the price, you're willing to have great results. But it's not going to be easy, and you'll probably think that you're failing along the way even though you're making progress, because progress isn't always tangibly visible. You often feel it internally. I feel my progress now. I feel like I'm going to make a splash on my YouTube channel. I feel like this channel is going to reach millions of people sooner or later. I feel it. My progress isn't tangibly visible today, but I can assure you that this YouTube channel is going to change lives. It's going to move lives. It's going to stir consciences. It's going to change people. It's going to create leaders. It's going to create humans willing to change everything in their lives and consequently change society with their good works and good results. I know that's going to happen. I know that's a fact. I know that it's something incredible that's going to happen no matter what. Now you have to start shaping it. It's 7 in the morning. It's nighttime. Here. And I know I didn't feel like recording this, but now I feel such a connection with you that I'm going to give you everything so that you have all the tools you need, so that you can win, so that you can conquer, so that you can. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I'm putting music on it because I love how it sounds. I'm putting music on it because the message gets through better, but this isn't really motivation. I'm changing the direction of your life. One step, one more step, one more step, one more step. When you've been listening to me for a year, your life will be different because I'll have taught you to take responsibility for everything. I'm the one to blame and no one is the only one who takes responsibility for mine, because God doesn't decide and God isn't the one responsible for me. What God does is accompany me in everything. When I take the driver's wheel, try it. For once in your life, take the driver's wheel. You'll see what happens. For once in your life, decide to steer the ship. For once in your life, decide to be the one who gives the directions of where we are going. For once in your life, decide to be the only one who leads, the only one who has the hunger. To be able to direct all of that. For once in your life, do that. Your life is going to be very different if you are able to take the action of wanting to lead. I don't promise you that it will be easy, but I can assure you that it will be worth it. If you want me to be your mentor, to help you by the hand, to radically change your life, to change your entire belief system so that you start to print unlimited results, you have the mindset room until November 1st, 2025. You have it for €47 per month. The price will increase later. Now it's your turn. What do you want to do? Stay out? Or join a community of more than 500 people who are changing their lives? I can assure you that in your first week in the room applying everything I teach, your life is going to look different. The results that you haven't obtained in all these years, you will obtain once you enter this circle of people who are winning, who have no excuses, who are infernally hungry to change their lives. It is time for you to take action, change everything in your life and in these next 60 days of the month. These next 60 days of the year, radically change who you were. You still have time, but you have to make decisions. See you tomorrow in a new video. If you are enjoying this, subscribe to the YouTube channel.